On that cold March day in 1972, when Sal Mineo auditioned for the role of young Vito Corleone in The Godfather, he thought he was catching the biggest break of his career. But when director Francis Ford Coppola looked at him and simply said, "You look too delicate," Sal's dreams were shattered in a single sentence. That role eventually went to Robert De Niro and made history. So why was Sal Mineo constantly rejected for being too delicate and not masculine enough? And how did these rejections drive him into depression? This is the story of an actor who became a victim of Hollywood's ruthless face and changing perceptions of masculinity. If you want to listen to this story to the end, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because we'll continue sharing the unknown truths about the career collapse Sal Mineo experienced in the early 1960 seconds. Sal Mineo was one of Hollywood's brightest young stars with 2 Oscar nominations. But when he entered his 20s, he faced a terrible reality. He couldn't escape his child star image. Casting directors still saw him as one 6-year-old Play-Doh and didn't take him seriously for adult male roles. The first major rejection came in 1962. When he auditioned for The Miracle Worker, director Arthur Penn told him, "You still look like a child." Sal was 23 at the time, but his facial features was still youthful. His body frame was thin, and his height was short. These physical characteristics constantly trapped him in the young man category. During this period, Hollywood's perception of masculinity was changing. Actors like Marlon Brando, Paul Newman, and Steve McQueen had created the new male prototype: muscular, tough, alpha male characters. Sal's sensitive, delicate, and emotional nature didn't fit this new trend and left him behind. Sal had joined a gym to find a solution to this situation. He was trying to build muscle and appear more masculine, but his natural build wasn't suitable for this. Even his trainer said, "You have more of a dancer's body." This comment hurt Sal deeply because he was already having questions about his sexual identity. In 1965, casting was being held for a revival of A Streetcar Named Desire on Broadway. The Stanley Kowalski role was the legendary character that had propelled Marlon Brando's career to the top. Sal thought that if he could get this role, he could open a new page in his career. On audition day, Sal had done his best. He tried to embody Stanley's raw sexuality and wild masculinity, but when producer Hal Prince told him, "You're not Marlon Brando, kid," Sal's world collapsed. "The words "you're playing the role the way Brando plays it, but you're just his shadow" would echo in Sal's ears for years. That night when he returned home, Sal cried for hours. Being in Marlon Brando's shadow, constantly being compared to him, had become unbearable. At every casting, he was told to play it like Brando, but he wasn't Brando and never could be. This rejection deeply shook Sal's confidence. Now every time he went to an audition, he worried, "Am I masculine enough?" This anxiety also affected his performance and influenced his natural acting. After the streetcar rejection, Sal remained in depression for a year. During this period, he began therapy sessions with psychologist Dr. Margaret Phillips. He was looking for the answer to, "Why am I always being rejected?" The therapist told him, "You must accept yourself." But Sal couldn't manage this. In 1966, he decided to pull himself together. He started working with a personal trainer, hired a nutritionist, and began spending hours at the gym. "If they want a strong man, I'll become a strong man," he thought. He trained intensively for 6 months, but his genetic makeup wasn't suitable for building muscle. he could only gain 3 to 4 pounds. During this period, he took a few small roles. He played a cowboy in the television movie The Dangerous Days of Kiowa Jones, but critics said he was unconvincing. After reading these reviews, Sal fell into despair again. Maybe I'll never be able to change, he began to think. In 1967, he auditioned for the casting of In the Heat of the Night. He thought he would be perfect for the role of a police officer fighting racism. But director Norman Jewison told him, "You look too sympathetic. This character needs to be tougher." This role went to Sidney Poitier, and the film won an Oscar. When casting began for Midnight Cowboy in 1968, Sal thought he would be perfect for the Ratso Rizzo character. The character was marginal, broken, and sensitive, exactly the type Sal could play. But as soon as the casting director saw him, he said, "You play gay characters very well, but we need someone tougher for this character." These words hit Sal in the face like a slap. Hollywood now wanted to fit him only into a certain mold. Gay character, sensitive young man, broken-souled boy. He couldn't escape these types. Heterosexual, strong male characters were never given to him. The Ratso role eventually went to Dustin Hoffman, and Hoffman won an Oscar. "One of those nights," Sal told his friend, "I wish I looked a bit tougher. Maybe then I'd get real roles." But the problem wasn't just appearance. There were also social prejudices. What Sal painfully realized during this period was that Hollywood only wanted to see him in certain roles. Young, vulnerable, marginal characters. He could never get strong, charismatic alpha male roles. This situation began to affect him both financially and spiritually. In 1969, the William Morris Agency, which Sal had worked with for 10 years, decided not to renew their contract with him. Agency manager Jerry Weintraub told him, "Sal, you're a talented actor, but the market doesn't want you. The big studios don't even ask for your name anymore." This news shocked Sal. Being without an agent meant career death in Hollywood. He started working with smaller agencies, but they only brought B-class films and television jobs. The payments were 1/10 of what they used to be. During this period, he began experiencing financial worries for the first time. He was paying $800 a month mortgage for his West Hollywood home, but his income had dropped. He started using credit cards and continued living by depleting his savings. That same year, his old friend Dennis Hopper's big breakthrough with Easy Rider deeply affected Sal. "Why can't I succeed?" he constantly asked. These comparisons drove him deeper into depression. When casting was being done for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969, Sal auditioned for the Sundance Kid role. The character needed to be young, rebellious, and attractive. Sal thought he could meet these requirements. But director George Roy Hill told him, "You're a very fine actor, but we need a cowboy character for this role. You're more suitable for urban, sophisticated roles." These words were a polite rejection, but Sal understood the truth. He wasn't considered suitable for Western masculinity. The Sundance Kid role went to Robert Redford, and Redford's career took off. That evening at home, Sal asked himself, "Why do blonde, blue-eyed, tall men always win?" His Italian heritage, delicate facial features, and short stature constantly worked against him. This rejection affected Sal greatly because the Western genre was very popular at that time. Not being able to participate in this genre meant being excluded from major productions. Sal was gradually forced to turn to smaller, independent films. After the Butch Cassidy rejection, A dark period began in Sal's life. He started drinking alone at home in the evenings. At first, it was just 1 or 2 glasses of whiskey, but over time this amount increased. There were times when he drank so much that he couldn't remember the previous night when he woke up in the morning. His friends began to notice the seriousness of the situation. One day, Dennis Hopper told him, "Sal, you're destroying yourself." But Sal wasn't listening to these warnings. "My career is over anyway. What more can I lose?" he would reply. In 1971, he missed an audition because of alcohol. He had an appointment for the French Connection casting, but he woke up drunk that morning and couldn't go. This opportunity went to Gene Hackman, and Hackman won an Oscar. That day, Sal thought, "Now I'm really finished." During this period, he also stopped therapy sessions. When Dr. Phillips called to ask about his condition, he replied, "Therapy doesn't help. The problem isn't with me, it's with Hollywood." Actually, he had begun to hate both himself and Hollywood. In 1970, during the casting of Love Story, Sal auditioned for the Oliver Barrett role. He wanted to star in a romantic drama. The character was a rich, handsome, and charismatic Harvard student. Producer Howard G. Minsky told him, "You're a great actor, but we need someone taller and physically stronger for this role."
This character should also be an athlete.
Sal's 5'7", 130-pound body didn't meet these criteria. The Oliver role went to Ryan O'Neal, and the film became a big hit. O'Neal's tall stature, athletic build, and wasp handsomeness were exactly the prototype they were looking for. Sal was left out again. This rejection increased Sal's physical complexes. He started looking in mirrors and criticizing himself. "I wish I were taller. I wish I were more muscular," he constantly thought. These thoughts seriously affected his mental state. After the Love Story rejection, Sal's financial situation rapidly deteriorated. The money from big films had stopped coming, and television work had also decreased. In 1971, he could only earn $200 per month. This wasn't enough to cover mortgage, electricity, water, and phone bills. For the first time, he had to borrow money. He asked his mother Josephine for $2,000. "It's a temporary situation," he said. But both knew this wasn't temporary. When his mother gave him the money, she said, "Son, maybe you should find another job." These words hurt Sal's pride. He started selling household items. He put his Oscar nomination certificates, awards, and even photographs taken with James Dean up for sale. Each time he sold an item, it was as if he was destroying a part of his past. During this period, alcohol consumption increased even more. He bought cheap whiskey and drank from morning to night. Neighbors started seeing him sitting drunk in his garden. The former Oscar-nominated actor was now known in the neighborhood as the alcoholic. When casting for young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2 was being done in 1972, Sal auditioned with great hopes. Being of Italian descent and being able to understand the drama of Sicily were great advantages. The character's youth, intelligence, and determination were qualities Sal could play. During the interview with Francis Ford Coppola, Sal did his best. He spoke Italian, explained the character's motivation, and gave a strong performance. But when Coppola told him, "You look too delicate. Vito needs to be a strong character," Sal's heart broke. "But I'm Italian. I understand this culture." Sal tried to protest. Coppola said, "Yes, but you look like someone a mafia leader would sacrifice, not a mafia leader." These words pierced Sal's soul like a dagger. The young Vito role went to Robert De Niro. and De Niro won an Oscar. That night at home, Sal cried, "This was my role. This is my culture." He had missed the biggest opportunity, and the reason was once again his physical appearance. After 1973, big film offers completely stopped for Sal. Now only small-budget films, B-class productions, and theater plays remained. Each rejection eroded his confidence a bit more and drove him deeper into depression. In 1973, Sal's situation became critical. He had to mortgage his house. He borrowed $15,000 from the bank and used his house as collateral. "If I get a big role, I'll pay everything back," he thought, but this was just a dream. During this period, alcohol addiction reached serious proportions. He started drinking a bottle of whiskey a day. His hands were shaking. His speech was slurred. He was caught driving drunk several times, but wasn't arrested because the police recognized him. In 1974, he experienced a turning point. When he went to the hospital with complaints of heart palpitations, the doctor told him, "If you don't stop drinking, you'll die within a year." This warning shocked Sal, and he decided to pull himself together one last time. That same year, he started attending Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. At his first meeting, he said, "I'm Sal Mineo, and I'm an alcoholic." This confession relieved him. He slowly began to reduce his drinking. He couldn't quit completely, but tried to get it under control. When he went to audition for Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets casting in 1974, he had pinned his last hope on it. When Scorsese told him, "You're a great actor, Sal, but we need someone tougher for this role," Sal already knew this sentence by heart. Thanks to AA meetings, Sal managed to reduce his alcohol consumption, but couldn't quit completely. He now drank 2 to 3 times a week, not every day like before. This small victory gave him some hope. His financial situation was still very bad. When he became unable to pay his house loan, the bank first sent a warning letter. "If you don't pay within 3 months, we'll put the house up for auction," it said. Sal was in panic. During this period, his old friend Dennis Hopper tried to help him. "Sal, let's make an independent film together," he said. "There's little money, but it's better than nothing." Sal accepted this offer because he had no other choice. He took a small role in Escape from the Planet of the Apes. At the end of 1975, his agency told him the truth. "Sal, we're no longer casting for big films. The market has changed a lot. You're on that list now." These words were an official death notice for Sal. His Hollywood career was officially over. Sal's last major film audition was in 1975 for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. When he went for the Randall McMurphy role, director Milos Forman told him, "You look too sensitive. This character needs to be more rebellious." The McMurphy role went to Jack Nicholson, and Nicholson won an Oscar. This final rejection completely destroyed Sal. He stopped trying for big roles. "Maybe my time has passed," he would tell his friends. "Maybe I was never suitable for big films." By 1976, Sal Mineo's Hollywood dreams had long since died. He was performing in small theater plays and sometimes taking guest roles in television series. His financial situation was very bad. His mental state even worse. In his final days, Sal still dreamed of making a film about James Dean. "If I can tell Dean's story, maybe my career will come back," he thought. But this too would remain just a dream. When he was murdered on the 12th of February 1976, Sal Mineo was still searching for his perfect role. But Hollywood's changing standards had never given him a chance. His physical appearance, sexual identity, and changing perceptions of masculinity had constantly excluded him. This emotional journey of how it ended and how it changed Sal's view of love. If you want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, because we'll continue sharing the brutal realities of Hollywood with you. Sal Mineo's story shows Hollywood's ruthless face, how a talented actor is excluded by the system, how he's forgotten, how he's destroyed. This isn't just one actor's tragedy. It's the painful story of artists who became victims of an entire era's wrong perceptions. Today, Sal Mineo is remembered as a symbol of missed opportunities. If he had gotten the right roles at the right time, maybe he could have been as famous as Marlon Brando. But Hollywood standards never gave him a chance.